Hello, welcome back. Happy Friday, folks. Hope you're doing well. As you know, we got to do the intro. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching. Through the wonder and terror of the internet, I'm coming to you live once again for the next hour or so. Let's talk storytelling, or specifically today, fantasy map making, because it is Fantasy Map Friday. Hope y'all are ready to paint some regions, shape some coastlines, speculate about the geography and the cultures that might live there. Today we're going to make fantasy maps, or specifically continue making the map we've already begun. Hello, 4-6, Jack and Sean, y'all. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. Hope you've had a good week up to this point. Hope you got a good weekend planned. I certainly do. My parents are coming in for a visit, so I'll say off the top, they're here all next week. I'm not certain if I'll be streaming or not. I think that I'll still be able to. We'll see. But at a minimum, I'll be good for next Friday. But I think even sooner than then. 4-6, a fishing dock. Yes, my friend. I think we can manage that. This is a really zoomed out one though, like a world scale, or darn near it. So it's going to be a big fishing dock to be visible from space, essentially. Lestro, how you doing? Welcome in. How you been? Sean, you're going to play golf for the first time ever tomorrow? Are you ready to make a fool of yourself? Hey man, have fun. Let me know how it is. I've never really gotten the sport appeal of golf, so you'll have to let me know. Report back to me. Legia, you like the cup? Thank you. It's actually my wife's, but I steal it for stream because this is how I feel in the morning. Generally from yawning. It's always fun to bust out, though. I gotta get a better collection of like fun mugs. Other name wasn't available. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for joining me. All right, y'all. Without further ado, let's get back to the map, huh? Fun Mug Friday, says Jack Ann. Alright, y'all, just a little recap. This is our map as it stands now. You know, it's early. We're early in here, but we got our coastlines cut out. We got some regions painted in with our dark green for our rainforest areas, our light green for the temperate environments. We got the red up here for legally distinct Mordor. So we're gonna keep going with it. The question is specifically, what region are we gonna work on today? I'm kind of feeling, oh boy, I'm kind of feeling rivery today. This needs a bunch of rivers down in here for our rainforest. So maybe we go swimming today. What do you think? Rick, you said you enjoy making maps with a bunch of dice cast on a table and drawing an outline. Yeah, that's a cool way to do it, right? Dice or rice, those rhyme too well, on a piece of paper, and then you like outline it. I love that. That's a cool way to do it. Zorby, you said I want to make a D&D map for my first campaign. Since I know how to make maps, what would I suggest? I would suggest start a little bit smaller. Don't jump into something as far-reaching as this. Let me pull up one of my other ones. Start with something smaller, like one of these two. It's a little more manageable, and then after you get a bit more practice under, you can go bigger if you want. Or just don't do as much detail. Like, there's a lot of detail that I'm going for. You could do it a little less dense, I suppose is the word. So like this one, I think is a pretty good example of a good starter map. Essentially, it's just an island. Now it looks pretty full because we filled in a lot of stuff. But it really, if you break it down, it's really like a village here, or a town here, right there, a village here, and a ruin down here, and then the rest is just kind of, set dressing. Someone asked what website. It is Ink Carnet. I'll put it in chat there. So yeah, start with something easier like this, or even simpler, I think, is this one. Just keep it simple at first. It's a good place to start. You'll learn a lot, and then you can jump into making something incredibly detailed. Lestro, you said my lives get you excited for world building. Hey, rock on. That's what I want to hear. Thank you for being here. Well, let's do some world building then. So if you've been following the stream for these maps, you know that I actually have a little bit of a stencil going on here because we had an original version of this map. Here, I'll pull it full opacity. Here it is. And we wanted to change it for several reasons. So we did into this. And what I want to do now is, you see this region right down in here, this big like Amazon rainforest vibe, that needs to go on our current map. Let's turn the opacity down right around in here. So today I think we need to, or I think we can add that in if we want. Sir Paint over on Video App, my friend, good to see you. I feel like this day was made for you, man. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this, y'all. I'm kind of thinking this might be the way to go today. But it's going good, Sir Paint. How about you? I'm excited to be here. So the thing that I'm thinking about right now is on the original map that we're updating. Notice there was coastline. There's coastline right here where the Amazon area is, and on our updated map there's no coastline there. So we got to think about how we want to handle that, because I did love my little delta here with like 1,000 islands in it. That felt it was a cool little area, and I'd like to retain that. So I'm not sure how to do that initially without making like a big lake, but I'd really like it to open to the sea. But there's no coastline here. Raz, we haven't illustrated the depth of Crater Lake yet. We took a shot at it for a while, and then we weren't happy with it. So we'll come back and work on it again another time. Kooky, Fat Frog, good to see you. How y'all been? Happy cold, dark morning to you. It's a chilly 43 Fahrenheit here in Houston. That's pretty cold for us. Alright, what do we think, guys? Any ideas on how we can bring this... I specifically want this area right here, this like delta, this wash of islands, in to our new area right down here, but there's no coast. So I guess we could have... It could theoretically, this green area, this dark green swampy area, could extend all the way to this coast, and we could make this the wash of all those islands. Oh, Sean, 14 degrees in western New York where you are. Oof. Scott Hobb, what's up, my guy? I don't do map commissions. I appreciate it, though. I'm a full-time author, so most of my day is spent writing. I just make maps on stream for fun. Kooky, you said rainy and cold here in the Tennessee-Georgia state line. I believe it. I believe it. Hey, user937, how you doing, buddy? It has been a while. I'm doing good, though. Doing good. Excited to work on some map making today. Just gotta figure out where to repurpose my lovely little 1,000 island area right here. I think it's gonna have to stretch all the way out to like right there on the map. That's the easiest solution, I think. So let me turn the opacity down so you can kind of see it. I think it's gonna have to go like right here. All right, so we'll draw the river out across this way. Have like one. I don't know if that makes sense though. Lestro, my wife is not. Well, I guess she is kind of a writer, but she's specifically a science communicator. Does involve some writing sometimes, and she can write. She's been a journalist in the past, but most of her day is spent communicating science, from complex experiments to research going on the International Space Station. She explains that in easy to understand, interesting stories. She does all kinds of science, Sean. She communicates it, so like she'll work with the actual scientists to explain why what they're doing matters and what it is they're even doing. She has an engineering degree though, so she is a traditionally trained engineer. All right, well, I guess what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and start making these rivers in here. And this is easy enough. Like this little template just goes right over the top, right? Nice and easy. So let's do something. I'm going to get a little rotation on this. I think kind of something like that could work pretty well. I'm a fan of that. All right, let's put some rivers in here. Get our brush nice and small. Jeff Box Jr., we're using Incarnate to make this. It's a great online map maker. Also, thanks for joining today, folks. I appreciate you. See the numbers going up a little bit. Glad to have you here for our Fantasy Map Friday best stream of the week. Oop, I have the river on random. That's not going to work. I don't want random rough edges. I want shorelines. There we go. Unfortunately, when we're starting out these rivers, it's just such a test of my mouse skills. So you have to bear with me a little bit. A lot of specific drawing in here. Tide and Tara, good morning. Welcome in. How you today? How's your Friday starting off? Alright, I'll make the brush a little bit smaller. I want to smooth this edge here. Alright, and then back down to brush size 2 to draw the next river here. Now, we'll work these into the mountains a little bit. Because if you look up in here, you see how they like... I guess you can't really see my cursor. They blend into the mountains. We're going to work that in around here. But for now, we're just going to start the rivers. Yeah, I hope you brought your bathing suits today, guys. Gonna be a lot of river work. This one's actually bigger. This could be a 3 on brush size. How exciting. A 3 on brush size right off the bat. Oh boy, I can't draw today. I really can't draw today. And then we watched a stream where for 2 hours Alex drew rivers and then Control-Z deleted them, undid them, and then drew them again. It was riveting. It was rivering. There's a pun in there somewhere. Hey, Kooky, you're going to dive into Thief of Honor today? Well, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. It's a long one. It's a lot longer than A Wriggly Little Assistant. So I hope you enjoy. Titan Terror, we did jump right into the hard stuff today. I'm kind of happy with it, though. I'm liking our rivers as they're coming out already. Pavel, I've tried to use a drawing tablet for this. I don't have a tablet, though. I have like a... I mean, I guess you could call it a tablet. I have the it's a black rectangle of plastic. It doesn't have a screen on it. I guess that's like it's like a starter drawing tablet, I suppose. My issue with it is when I use it, I have to draw on my desktop, and then it recreates it on the screen. I think it'd be a lot better if I had like if I was drawing on the screen itself. I think that would be a lot easier for me. Thank you for the follows, by the way. I'm so glad that TikTok has, I don't know if it was a glitch or what, but I get the chime again now when people follow. I missed that. All right, there we go. That's looking all right. Hey, yeah, like that. Thank you, whoever that was. Joe, this is Incarnate. Not Wonder Draft, but very similar. Here's I'll zoom. I saw a couple requests to zoom out. This is my template here. We're going to move that for a moment. Here's the map as it stands, and we're putting some detail in here. Unmatched mouse skills. Hey, if you say so, I'll take it. Thank you. You much prefer this art style, Fat Frog? Yeah, I agree. The parchment Parchment World is what it's called. I'm definitely a fan of it. That's why we're recreating the map in it. It looks better for fantasy maps. Alright, we're waking up a little bit. I'm actually able to trace lines now. Running wide. Running wide. Oh, it was going so good, and then we got jumpy at the end. Alright, the trick here is to go faster. That's how you make it look better. You gotta have confidence and just go a little bit quicker with it. A little bit quicker. Okay, so I've reached my islands that I wanted to do. Philip, you want to see the full one? Sure, we can zoom all the way out here for a moment, and we'll move the template off. I guess we could just put the island thing down in here. That could be kind of cool. I just liked that it flowed to the ocean. So I still think I'm going to move it over to here, near Cyprus. I think that would be more fun. Flays Flame over on Video App. Good morning, my friend. We are making a fantasy map today. Or continuing a fantasy map. Leave in the little mistake, says Mike. Alright, yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea. It definitely makes things look more natural. I do like my little lakes around here. So when we make these little lakes, what I do at least, and I'm no expert, but I'm a passionate hobbyist. I make them smooth like this, and then we come back with a smaller brush and add land to the edges, and it creates natural looking little cuts and stuff in them. That being said, I feel like I'm tracing them decently well until I made that mistake. There we go. I imagine for anybody tuning in right now, this just looks like me splattering light blue paint on a random canvas. Not the most sensible stream. That's alright. Alright, there we go. Carter, it is inkcarnate.com. Thank you, Fat Frog, for pasting that in there. Yeah, Sir Paint, you're spot on. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to... Sir Paint over on Video App said have the rivers all go into one and then drain at the ocean. So what I really want from the old map is this Thousand Islands region. I'm going to bring that... Let's turn the opacity down. I'm going to bring that to right out here where this coast is. And we're going to combine these rivers and drag them out here. And put that there. I don't know. I really like I'm really interested in the idea of where rivers, big rivers, Mississippi, Amazon, Nile, where they flow into the ocean. I think that's just a really cool meeting of different worlds. Also, the meeting of waters, different rivers running together, especially if they have different tannin levels or silt levels. Very interesting to me. Someone asked how far can I zoom in? Pretty far, but we're pushing the limit, you know. Well, I guess maybe not. We can get all the way to that. It just becomes blurry pixels. And we can zoom all the way out. Like that, I guess. There's our limits. Draco, we're using inkcarnate.com. It's a free online map maker, though it has a paid tier, which is very good, but the free tier works just fine. I think they have some big new updated version coming out. Incarnate 2.0, maybe? So that should be fun. I think when I logged in today, it said like December 8th or something. You can tell I pay a lot of attention to these things. now we're gonna... So a trick when you're making your rivers, start them smaller brush size near their headwaters, and then larger brush size as they meet up and get stronger. Because technically rivers would come from a bunch of streams that are too small to illustrate here, flowing together down from the mountains, becoming one water and getting bigger and bigger and bigger as they go. So that's kind of what we're trying to simulate. I haven't tried Wonder Draft, Tron. I haven't tried it, but I hear it's really good. I probably should try it. There's just so many good map makers out there. Map making programs. I don't know if there's time to try them all. It's also Canvas of Kings looks amazing. I really want to try that one. And also, yo, chat, let me know what you're thinking about this. But I've done a lot of maps on stream here. I got a couple of them pulled up in the background. We did like this one, which I think this is still my favorite one we've done. Had a ton of fun with this one. But I was thinking we should do something smaller, like a courtyard with some buildings and see the interior of the buildings, kind of like a battle map. Because we've always done it at like this scale, and now our grandest scale ever. But I think I would like to do one that's kind of like a courtyard, a couple buildings around the edges, like an intersection in a city, and then no roofs on the buildings. You can see into them and like do the layouts of the inside, kind of battle map-esque. I think that'd be really fun. Bruce, have I ever made a moat in any of my maps? I have made a lava moat, if that counts. Here, let me pull it up. Jack Ann, I can't say that I'm working on that book. I know that you guys are excited about it, but I can say that I have recently pitched it to a publisher. So we're waiting on their response. We'll see what they say. But it's back in the running. So maybe something soon. Someone asked for the moat. So I guess you could say I have this lava moat going on here in legally distinct Mordor. This took forever. Technically it was a fire moat down here. And then we have the lava moats here. So that's the closest I got, I think. I've never really done specific castles. But hey, fun fact, y'all. This right here, this regional map, is actually present in the map that we're working on now. If I grab it right here, turn up its opacity. There we go. There's the map we were just looking at. And look at this. Boom. We're recreating it in here because I wanted to zoom out that map. It's been a fun experiment. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Oh, Jack Ann, you liked Puerto Asilo's map? I can pull that up, too. I think that's the first one I've ever finished on Incarnate. Robert, you've always wanted to make fantasy maps? Hey, man, I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say go for it. Uh-oh. Whenever it flashes white like that, it's a corrupted map. This has happened to a few of mine. So this is not going to load correctly, I don't believe. Yeah, see, it broke. I should have a fixed version in one of my folders. Let's see if this one works. Come on, no white flash. Also, I saw the Asmongold reference, so y'all know what that means. Y'all know what that means. We got to update the counter. Hey, we hit the funny number. The Asmongold counter goes up again. I did see that this map broke as well, so we're not going to look at that one right now. I don't know why that glitch happens. Oh no, it broke mini maps. That's annoying. Let's see if we can fix that real quick. Where did I find the option to do this? Here we go. All right, y'all, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Oh boy, that did not do it. Oh, not this again. All right, what we need to do is not save them. There was a reason this happened last time. I don't remember what it was, though. So let's see if we can recover here. Yes, Annex. They can be downloaded and used however you want, essentially. I'm paying for the Pro license. It's like $25 a year. So that helps. That gives you more rights to the maps, but you can make them for free. This is so weird that this is doing this. We got this one done. We got it back, the original, but that is where we started the day. So we might be losing progress, which would be a shame. It was only 20 minutes of map making. I could probably get those rivers back pretty quick. That'd be a shame, though. I think I'm gonna have to do it. All right, starting from the beginning of stream today. Let's pull this back out. We're gonna make some more rivers. I'll try to do it quick. Justin, hello, my friend. Welcome in. Good to see you again. Alright, this should be easy. Vale, yeah, we're using incarnate.com. It is free. It also has a paid tier, but free tier is fine as well. I was on free tier for a long time. Alright, if you were here for the beginning of stream and you saw me do these rivers, you definitely didn't. Nothing happened. What are you talking about? This is exactly where we started today, and we had no issues with anything. Yeah, Titan Terra, I don't like that this issue is happening more with Incarnate lately. It's quite worrying, because I don't like losing map progress. It hadn't happened. I've been streaming this for a year, almost, and we hadn't had it ever, and now it's happened twice in 2 months. The last time was terrifying. The last time I lost like all my maps, and then, thank goodness, there was a recovery feature that saved a lot of them. But look at that. Boom. That river's back that quick. No big deal. No big deal. Y'all, I can be a perfectionist. It's very easy for me to be that way. What map making has taught me, and writing in general, is like, don't worry about it, man. Just confident strokes, trust yourself, go for it and have fun. Yeah, the river might not follow the exact course that you had in your head, but like, it's good enough. Better, it has to be done before it can be improved, right? So like, boom. There we go, that river's good. Mike, you want to zoom out? You got it. You got it. That's a big one, huh? Gotta work my scroll wheel for days to zoom out on this. Let me move the template away. The river follows its own course. You're right, Jack-Ann. You're right. Y'all, I'm so excited to get up to this area right here. The OGs will know what that is, but here, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up so you can see. Oh, I don't have to do that. We have it on the template here. If we make this opaque. There we go. See this little clearing? This autumnal veil? That's what we are recreating up in here, because we're making a version 2.0 of this map with a different art style. And that's going to go right in here. I can't wait for it. I love it. Look at the waterfalls and the autumnal trees and everything. I love this area. We got to get that back in here. Egg Fried Idiot. What a name. This is Incarnate, my man. Your name might be Egg Fried Idiot, but you absolutely nailed that observation. Incarnate it is. Phoenix? Phoenix, are you trolling me with that question? You know Cyprus is on the map, my guy. You've said the word, the C word, Cyprus. What animals do I have in Fantasy Mississippi? Wonderful question. This one is a bit more based on the Amazon, at least this area here. It's a little too straight for a river. Let's do a thing. There we go. This area is based on the Amazon, kind of mixed with the Mississippi, so you're not too far off. But I can tell you, the most mischievous of the animals that I have here are these guys. Because this map is for this world. Wriggly Little Hands. It's my newest book. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord and all the crazy ways they mess that up. It's linked in my bio if you want to check it out. It's an audiobook, it's an ebook, all those good things. But these little goblins are definitely the craziest, most mischievous creatures that we have in this world. And in fact, they live right around here, in the Swamp of Sadness and Sweaty Underthings. Thank you, Tide and Terra. You are spot on. If you're enjoying the stream, go ahead and give that follow button a click. Appreciate y'all. Tide and Terra, you're so good at streaming stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. I just get on here and talk at the computer for an hour or so. And y'all hang out with me. So I appreciate that. Thank you. If you don't know, guys, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. I guess I should introduce myself. A lot of folks hanging out. I'm author Alex Knight, if you haven't been here before. I write fantasy and lit RPG books full-time, but I also stream. And on Fridays, we do fantasy maps like today. Other days of the week, we do other formats, including Q&A, where I just answer all your questions about being an author, working in publishing, all that fun stuff. Sometimes we look at book covers that you guys submit. Sometimes we read the opening lines of your favorite books, and I give you an author's perspective on them. Just stuff like that. So if that sounds interesting, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m., we're here. So what is it? Sabri Jasper. No, who is that? Lau. You said, why do you paint over a river when there's already a river? So actually, what's going on here is this template is the original map that I had created, but I want to change the art style from this realistic art style to I call it parchment style. So what I'm doing is I'm using the map that we had started as a template to recreate it on here. So that's why we're painting over rivers. There's actually not rivers there. There's rivers on my stencil from the old map, and I'm painting over those. And then once that's all done and it's like slotted in, I'll get rid of this and we'll go freeform. Sam, this is Incarnate. Incarnate.com specifically. Minty, that island is Cyprus. You're correct. My family is from Cyprus, so I include it in books as an Easter egg. And when I was making the original map, I made it way too obvious that it was the island of Cyprus. Like, it looked like it, but it was a little bit rough. Everybody immediately clocked it, and I was like, all right, well, we're just going to go full on then, and we're just going to make Cyprus a part of this world. This is a fantasy comedy world, the books that take place here. So we get to have Cyprus in there. So canonically, Halloumi exists in this world, and I'm very excited about that. Let me make these little lakes in here. Just going to splash them in. And look at that. We're basically where we were before the map crashed earlier, which didn't happen. What are we talking about? No key, you want the zoom out? Here you go. Let me get the stencil off as well. There it goes. Here's our map at the moment as we progress. Everything epic. If Halloumi exists, then the British are coming. What is that, like the version of if you discover oil, watch out, the Americans are coming? If it's Halloumi, the British are coming? Sir Paint over on Video App, you said I answered my question before I could finish. That's awesome. I'm listening to that book now, enjoying it tremendously. What book was that, Sir Paint? I think I missed your comment for a moment. So I do not know what it was about. But I'm glad you're liking the book, whatever book it may be. Everything epic, you said for some reason Halloumi's all over the UK. Hey, for good reason. Halloumi's amazing. I love halloumi. It's like the greatest food on earth. It's not so popular here in America, but I'm doing my best to spread the good word of halloumi. I've made it for many friends. Thank you for the follows, y'all. I appreciate that. You're too kind. There we go. That's a pretty good looking lake, huh? Alright. So now it gets interesting. Let's get a save. Because I have my, like, Thousand Island region, but I need to stop calling it that because it's making me think of Thousand Island dressing. But we're going to have to move that one somewhere else. So let's finish these rivers here. And in fact, I'm going to drag them around a little bit. And try to get them to follow kind of the flow we've established so far. Bit more like that, maybe. And then we're going to drag the main river out to the coast. Let's get this a little bit bigger as she goes. Duelist Blue. Which part of map making do I enjoy the most? Uh-oh, there's a lake here? Oops. Wait, is it actually there or is it in this template? No, it's actually there. What part do I enjoy most? I really enjoy the painting aspect. We're not just doing, you know, like right now I'm technically like cutting. I'm masking the land to make these rivers. But here, I'll zoom out and show you. One of the steps that we do when I'm making a map is I paint in the regions. God, there's no good example on this map. I'll paint the background a little bit. And you actually do a little bit of color blending like real painting. I find that very fun. So like you'll see just the early version down here, it's desert, so it's yellow. And then here is like swamp, so it's dark green. But I will merge colors together at points to indicate the climate of the region. And I really enjoy doing that. I find that part very fun. I enjoy painting in real life. I'm just not very practiced at it. Oh, Sir Paint, you're listening to Wriggly Little Hands. Well, thank you, my man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Definitely my favorite book that I've written lately. That one has been an absolute joy. Alright, onward with the river. Nice and wide here. We got a big river going. Might widen a little too suddenly. Let's change. Oh, you couldn't even see what I was doing. I want to change this to make it widen a little more gradual. There we go. Shave off the top a little bit. Kind of like me. Oh, Jikax. Do you have any story events at or near these meandering rivers? Not yet. Not yet because, let's see, where is it? Let me grab this stencil, make it very bright so you can see it. So this was the first map, right? This is a regional map that takes place it's in the setting of the first book. Let me see if I can get it here so you can see it well. Or you know what? We'll do you one better. I'll just pull the original map up. Hopefully it loads. Don't break. Don't break. We're good. I don't know what this glitch is, but don't do it again. Fingers crossed. We're doing good. No white flash. We got there. Okay. This was the first map we made, right? And it's for this book right here. My comedy fantasy, Wriggly Little Hands. It's about goblins on a road trip to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon so they can help him defeat those pesky forces of good. And this is where the book begins. The goblins start down here in the swamp of sadness and sweaty underthings and go up to their boss, their big boss, the Dark Lord up here in legally distinct Mordor. And then they go out on their quest. So that's the region it starts at, right? And then this is going to be the world that it takes place in, the wider world. So reason I'm making a world map is I'm going to write more books in this world, and I want to fill in all these areas with events from future stories. So that was a really long answer. Oh, thank you, Phoenix. Do enjoy the novellas I released yesterday, which, folks, if you don't know, Just yesterday, I released my newest novella for free. So if you are in my Discord or on my mailing list, both of them linked in my bio, you get 2 free novellas from the world of my stories. And I'll pull them up real quick. This is Wriggly Little Hands. I just talked about that. This is the novella you get for free if you join the Discord or the mailing list. And then this is Servant of Rage, my dark fantasy. And if you want the novella for that one, Thief of Honor. This is the other one you get for free. So between those two, it's basically 60% of a full book for free. So feel free to check those out if you want to see what my writing's like. Oh, thank you, Travis. I appreciate you saying that. I hope you like what you find, my guy. Spencer, you said I'm playing an Opossum Grave Domain Cleric in your Woodland Critters Daggerheart campaign. That's sick. I love that so much. Please let me know how that goes. Do you have any special, racial abilities as a possum? I feel like you should definitely have, Feign Death as a spell that you get for free. Right? I need to know about the world building you got going on for that, because that sounds amazing. Okay, I think now let's do this last little river here, and then we're gonna get rid of the stencil, and we're gonna fly by the seat of our pants. We're gonna make it up as we go, y'all. That was way too straight. Come on, Alex. I believe in you. Oh my god. I think my mouse is getting jumpy, man. I gotta clean off the bearings. I can't do anything. Oh, reverse the direction and you get it. Kind of. Alright, we got something here. We can work with that. Alright. It's a little bit samey to the River of Fork above it. Don't love that. Alright, let's get this lake in here. Then we'll hit save, and then we're going to go freeform. Alright. Get the stencil out of here. We done the stencil. I'll give a quick zoom out here while we save. I guess it defeats the purpose if it blocks it. Joe, you said you're making a barren mesa sort of desert map. How do I still make it interesting? Ooh, good question, Joe. Making deserts is interesting. Oh, and Travis, yes, this is inkcarnate.com is the software. Let me pull up a relevant map that we made on stream for this question, Joe. Deserts, plains, etc. can be hard to give detail and interesting features, landscapes to in maps. So I think you got to get creative with it. So we got this big desert over here on the left, right? I'm always a fan of throwing an oasis in. Breaks up the land interesting. I think there's an interesting divide between deserts that are rocky, rough areas and dune seas, essentially, to use a Star Wars location. So sand dunes. Treat sand dunes almost like forests, in my opinion, in deserts. I think it's just cool to think of them that way. They break up the region differently. Then, of course, just leave some areas barren like this. Just, let people fill in the details with what they think's there. And then just get creative. So, in this one, we put in this dead tree forest. I think that's a cool little thing to throw in there. So yeah, just get creative with it. Put in things that seem appropriate to you. Look at real life deserts as well. Good way to get inspiration. All right. I think we need to put some more mountains in here, folks. Because if we look at this, there's this big blank area right here where just by product of the stencil I was using, I didn't have any rivers. I could add rivers, but I think it would be interesting to break it up with a little bit of a jut of mountains there. So let's do a little bit of refining in that area. Let's get some mountains. Kind of like that. Ooh, could even be a cool little valley in there. I kind of dig that, y'all. Yeah, see, we're gonna leave this as like a little valley of some sort. Now, I intentionally left a gap in the mountains right here. This is supposed to be a little bit of a pass. Oh, actually, no, wait. That was down here. So this gap is unintentional. Cool. So we can fill that one in. Boop. We got to get it layered correctly, though. Sometimes the mountains don't want to cooperate with one another. Still does not want to cooperate. Lestro, you just joined the Discord? Well, thank you. I appreciate you jumping in there. We're excited to have you. If you want, I think it's in the welcome message, but those novellas that I mentioned that you get for free, they are in the hashtag free stuff channel. I don't know why I said the hashtag. It's just how you tag a channel in Discord. So feel free to find that channel and you'll get links to download everything. Captain Blackbird over on Video App. Am I making this map according to scientific reasoning? Yeah, you know, on some level we're trying to be geographically accurate here, but on another level, it's for a fantasy comedy world. So we're just goofing with it. Like, we're just having fun. For example, this crater right here, the ocean used to stop right here. And we're saying that a wizard experiment gone wrong created this massive explosion and thus accidentally expanded the ocean. So, you know, we're doing goofy stuff like that. All right, so now I wanna get these. Mr. Grim Reaper, you're correct. Incarnate is. Good eye. You have a discerning eye, my friend. I want to get these rivers moved into the mountains nicely. So I think what I'm going to do, I don't really want to add more mountains because I wanted this to be a relatively thin and sharp series of mountains. It's supposed to be like the Andes where they meet the Amazon. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag that. We're just going to drag it. You know, just drag it a little bit. Just a little bit of draggy drag. Boom. There it goes. Raffi, you got a question, my man. Hit me up. What's up? Now, I feel like I also want to move these because I want them to come to the edge of the rivers because the rivers are originating there. Now, I don't want to lose this pass, though. Let me paint the pass a certain color because I definitely want to remember that it's there. I think it's going to be a really cool area to draw later. We're just going to do this. Don't worry about it. It don't look great. It's temporary. Oh my god, Raffi. That's a tough one. He said, if I were to create my own arena for the Hunger Games, how would you design yours? I mean, I'm such a fan of swamps and wetlands. We all know this. This is stream canon. So I guess I'd have to go with that. Put him in the Everglades. That'd be pretty rude. Everybody just died of mosquitoes. What about you, Raffi? Oh, that's the wrong color. I'm going to move that pass indicator a little bit. It's right here. This is my pass. Now, it does affect the rivers right there. So I got to think about that a little bit. So theoretically, what's going on here, geographically speaking, is this mountain range is like the Andes in South America. And the Andes are so tall that they hold in the moisture of the Amazon on one side, creating the Amazon River Basin, and a very dry desert on the other side. But this pass right here would allow water and moisture to spill out. So actually, I can paint it my swamp color. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have it like, what I'm thinking is this little pass creates a little humid outflow here. So you have a little temperate region in the desert. And I don't know what that's going to look like in the end, but I'm excited to figure it out. I think that's going to be a cool world detail. Titan Terra. Well, I'll get to that in a moment. I want to, Rafi, you said, I asked you what your arena would be like, Rafi. You said, yours would be a series of small islands surrounded by giant spans of water with underwater bases. Food is in trees. You have to go both underwater and in the trees. Man, that is mean, Rafi. You're gonna get a lot of tired, sad, wet people in there. But the Hunger Games isn't a happy world, is it? Sorry, one sec, y'all. Okay. Titan Terra, you asked a publishing question. Let me get back to that. You said, Alex, you mentioned pitching your story. I didn't think you could do that. Is that due to your relationship with publishers already? Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing here. I have worked with many publishers in the past, so I can go to a couple of them and pitch the story directly to them, pitch new stories to them, especially if I have a relationship with them from the past. Now, that's not for traditional publishing. Traditional publishing, most publishers won't accept an unagented manuscript, but for publishers like Audible, who I've worked with, I can pitch a book to them to see if they're interested in acquiring the audio rights, and then I self-publish or sell my book rights to another small publisher. So I'm kind of making my own deals that way. It doesn't always work, but it's fun when it does, and it's a good way to pitch a book before it's written. But it's really a luxury of having worked with these people in the past. They know me, they know my books, etc., etc. Katakuri on Video App, we're using Incarnate. I'll put it in chat for you. Titan Terror, the main distinction there is when I'm pitching the book like that, I'm mainly pitching the audio rights and then self-publishing the rest. So just another way, one of the infinite ways you can go about publishing. One of many. All right. Yo, I dig how those mountains came out. I like it a lot. All right, so now we got to drag this swamp all the way to the coast. Well, that's a long way to go. I'm going to paint the route of the river. I think it's going to come like this to here. I don't want it to wash out that way. Like that. That's going to be the route of our river. And I guess here, it's going to take on some Nile vibes, kind of going through a long stretch of land, being a main route of travel and trade in that area, I suppose. I don't know, man. We're making it up as we go. We just figure it out. So let's get this river on like size 12 brush. Let's get this bad boy flowing. That might still be a bit too big. There's my cursor. Yeah, 12's still too big. Give me 10, please. I feel like these two spars have to join at some point. And in fact, should probably be flowing toward one another. Kind of like that. That's going to be a big river, huh? It's also really funny to me that these mountains are so tall that the headwaters of this river form here right on the coastline, right? Like so close to that ocean, and instead flow all the way east to this sea. I find that deeply funny. It's just kind of taunting, right? Alright, there's our big river. I think we'll add some flourishes and decorations in time. Probably a lake. I know I have a lake on this stencil that I'd like to bring in. Let's make that opacity a little bit higher, and let's see what's going on. So that's the lake that I liked, but there were mountains there, and I don't have those mountains anymore, so I don't know if that lake makes sense, but look, it makes sense if we want it to make sense, right? I also need to actually, I point at my screen sometimes as if y'all can see what I'm doing. I need to finish these little rivers here too. Like I said, bring your swimsuits. It's swimming day. Appreciate the likes, everybody, and the follows and the shares. You're all too kind. I appreciate you immensely. What I don't appreciate is how I'm butchering this beautiful river. Nope, that made it worse. Alright. There we go. I feel like that's it. Tide and Terror, thank you for the, what was that, Fest gear. Oh man, thank you. That's too kind of you. Are we going to Fest? Are we going to a festival? Alright, y'all, what are we thinking? How we like the looks of that? Let's get a little green around this river here, because, while we haven't decided what it'll be, the brown out here, what that terrain's going to be like, it's going to be swampy and lush around this river. It's too big, too much water moving through to be anything else. Quick save. Boy, that's a lot of water. That's quite a region, ain't it? I like it, though. And I also like how we have this highland forming up in here with the fungal jungle down here, and then there's these cliff sides. It creates like a highland plateau area here. Quite interesting, I'd say. Okay, now we're going to do the 1,000 Islands. This is going to be detail work for sure. So let's rotate the stamp, the stencil, so it kind of fits in there. I mean, I don't even need to actually, you know what? I don't need the stencil for that. We can make it ourselves. We know what we're doing here. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the islands that currently exist. Sorry, islands. Using our imaginations. Correct, Tide and Terror, correct. Alright, and what we're going to do is make this like a massive river delta. So we're going to... Oh, that was a little too big. I said massive. I guess I meant something smaller than massive. Basically, I want to imply that this river flows out with such force that it is bending the land around it. Nah, it was better before. Alright, so like that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add land all up in here where our islands are going to be. Kind of in this shape. And now we're going to cut it up. Slice and dice. As soon as I find my cursor, where did it go? Meg, welcome in. Good to see you. And thank you for the dolphin. How appropriate right now. How appropriate for our water-themed work. Slindy, you always think of SpongeBob when you read the word imagination. Hey, that's a wonderful gif and a wonderful scene. So there ain't nothing wrong with that. Alright, I think y'all have seen me do this before, but when I make islands like this, what we do is we draw the course of the river through it, and then you just really just kind of hack it up. We're going to do a couple at this size, which is brush size 4. And then we're going to make it bigger. Let's go to like 8. And we're going to take more of it away. Because the goal here is to make it look like this was land that's just been eroded over time by the force and flow of this river, the throughput, you could say. Now we're going to make it a bit smaller again and continue just chopping it up. I'm actually also going to go ahead and fill in down here. I also try to do a main channel through it. So I'm going to say right here is going to be where the strongest flow would be. So you're going to have like a main channel coming through here. Deeper water, stronger current, with more islands around that. And now I think we need to add a little more land in here. I'd also like these islands to kind of reach the shoreline. Though I don't love how those are coming out. Maybe we need to do a little bit of random shaping on it. A little bit of rough edges. Let's do some of that. And then we'll cut it up a little bit again. Try to get a little more RNG in here. This one's very much a feel it out process. You know? Iconic Gaming, welcome in, my friend. Happy Friday to you. How you doing on this fine, chilly morning? Still 44 degrees outside here, man. That ain't right. Thought I lived in Houston. It's supposed to be warm and humid. Though I have been asking for it to get cold all year, so I deserve this. I've brought this on myself. Thank you for, what was that, Iconic? The Happy Friday. That's sick. I didn't know that existed. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, and Happy Friday to you. Glad to have you here. We were pretty busy earlier with a good number of new folks in, and now we've settled into less folks. Just, you know, the regular crowd hanging out. I ain't mad about it. I like hanging out with my peeps. Daddy daycare today, huh? Iconic? Rock on, man. I hope that goes well. That's some good bonding time. Hope y'all have a good Friday doing fun things in the daycare. Maybe you bust out the crayons and make a map. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I've lost my cursor. There it is. I still wish the islands had a bit more of a flow to them. I kind of want to indicate movement through, you know? And I'm not sure how to do that. This is an area I'm still working on. And I don't really know how to do it aside from just keep working it. You know? It's like shaping clay, which I have no experience with, and so perhaps this is a bad simile. But I feel like you just gotta kind of keep working at it until you find the shape you like. I don't know. Anybody work with clay here? Know if that makes any sense, or did I just absolutely make that up? Because like that's 90% of my job. You know, I write fantasy for a living, so I like to say I just tell beautiful lies all day. Pretty lies. Okay. I think that looks pretty good when we zoom it out. You're not like zoomed all the way in on it. I think that looks good. I think maybe we need to break up. Chat, what do you think? Do you like it? I think I just need to break up this island a little bit. It was a little too big. Oh, and this looks weird. We're just gonna mess up the edge a little bit there. All right, I feel like that's looking pretty good for our little 1,000 island region. What do we think, chat? Oh wait, I think I read that wrong, Iconic. You said gotta save on daycare, so I watch them Tuesday, Friday, and run family business from home. Okay, I gotcha. Sweeping Sage, you said totally off topic, but how important do you think it is to study the classics as a writer? Well, first of all, no real off topic here. I'm always happy to answer writing, publishing questions, all that stuff. If I'm live, feel free to ask them. I think studying the classics isn't too important. I think reading the classics and experiencing them can be important. I don't think you need it, but I think it can't hurt, essentially. But don't feel like you have to have read all the classics before you go about creating your own stuff, right? I mean, I haven't read them all either. I've read a lot of them, but mainly just for fun, more than anything. Yeah, good point, Raffi. Hey, y'all, shout out to Raffi in chat. This song playing right now, Raffi composed and produced it for stream. You're awesome, Raffi. We appreciate you, man. It is kind of mesmerizing, right? It's got a real vibe to it. Oh, I need to paint these islands swampy. Swamp. I know this is a small detail. We're not even really... It's probably not even coming through too much with the true color on stream, but... There we go, there we go. Okay, I think that river's looking good, y'all. That's a big old river we got going on there. Let's get a little more green. Right here on its edges. And then we're going to grab our parchment brown and... Oh, that's not it. Is it this one? Sure ain't. Interesting. Why is my Control-Z not undoing what I just painted? Incarnate, you're making me a little worried today, buddy. That's not the right color either. See, it's not undoing what I've just done. All right. Well, I know what color this is. If I can go to the full catalog. But they changed that with the new Incarnate mode, so I have to figure out... I have to relearn a couple things. Raffi, you're going to call swamps swamps? That's fun. That's the thing that my friends and I have done for a while. Alright, how do I access the full texture palette? I know there's a way to do it. They moved it with the new version of Incarnate. It's not going to be advanced settings. Here, I'll give you a better view. So I'm not just staring off screen the whole time. This is where I'm messing with. Dirty, the river is flowing west to east. So it's coming down from these really high mountains and going out here to the coast. Alright, so this is paint. It's a texture. Catalog, there it is. Okay, boom. And now I need parchment brown. No. Parchment brown. This one? There it is. That should be the color. Sure ain't. Maybe they changed that too. This one? It's not that one. It ain't that one. Oh, is Control-Z working now? No, only partially. That's so weird. That's a concerning glitch. I might back off on the map for the day because I'm worried about that. There's the color. Well, no, that's still a little bit off, huh? Here, let me give you a better view. Oh, that's so annoying, y'all. I can't undo paint, and I just accidentally put paint in areas I didn't want it. This is, I feel like this is like matching foundation right in here. So there must have been a change because that was called parchment brown. But that's clearly not what color it is now. Political brown? It's not political brown. It's not dark brown land. This is what's called parchment brown, but it's not that. We got a different parchment brown. It's not that. But that does look better. Iconic, you said you're on chapter 12 of Wriggly Little Hands, and you're enjoying it. Thanks for the good listen on Audible. Well, thank you for listening to it. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it, too. I had so much fun writing that book. I'm so glad folks are enjoying it. It's gotten the best feedback of any book I've written, and that makes me really happy. Hey, is this... Nah, this isn't it. It gets me every time. I think this is it, and it's not. Well, yeah, Fat Frog, I guess I agree with you. We're gonna have to just make this a different region whenever we figure out what the climate there will be like. So, Lindy, you said you got to do some cleaning. You're gonna be AFK, so if I'm not around when you end, thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for being here, Slendy. I appreciate you, man, and I hope the cleaning goes well. Sir Paint, you said it just needs to be a little bit darker. Yeah, for sure. I don't mess with the color mixing too much, because it just always ends poorly. So I try to use the pre-made colors. They're called textures technically because they are mixed in a little bit. I try to stick to those so that I don't mess up anything too much. We can take one more quick search for it. It's not that. Okay, Control Z appears to be working again. That's nice. There we go. Okay, we're gonna leave that blemish there. We'll fix that at some point. No, Titan Terror. We're looking for our parchment brown. So it's this color right in here, not this lighter color here, but it's not a big deal. We'll figure it out. We'll cover that up at some point. Yo, I'm gonna make an executive change here real quick. I'm gonna drag this mountain to be more like this, and like this, and kind of like this. We're gonna make a bit of a bowl feature going on here. And then we're going to grab our desert. And I'm going to paint in some desert down here. I don't like when maps are too cut up. I don't like... So if you look at this from a travel perspective, these mountains would divide a lot of travel east to west here. And then this river is an obstacle that's going to divide travel north to south. So I don't want to have it too cut up. I like there to be flow of routes through here. And so I think by having these mountains kind of curve off and die out here, it allows the idea that instead of having to traverse over these mountains to get to the desert, you could also come down here. A slightly easier route. So let's get some hills in here. I want to bleed these mountains down into hills. I think that'd be pretty fun. So we'll use small mountains first. That one's a little too big. Okay, like this. So just a couple of them. And I'm going to put the bigger one closer to the actual mountains. And these are just going to kind of represent that the mountains are coming down. That's a good point, Danielle. From a historical perspective, rivers don't cut travel. They helped it, especially commercial. Yeah, that's a good point. I suppose I'm thinking travel in terms of like obstacles in a path. But you're right. Rivers and bodies of water facilitated moving goods easier than overland. I'll try to keep that in mind so that I hopefully don't let my bias get in the way a bit too much. Oh boy. Wow, I was trying to type there. Y'all didn't see that. It was off screen, I think, but I was trying to type and made an oopsie. Alright, so we're going to do a couple more. If I can find the right stamp, maybe 1 or 2 more hills here. In fact, I'm actually, there you go, one and done, we got it. And now let's paint a little bit of our brown in here. And we're going to figure out what's going on down there. Yeah, undo's working weird again. Yeah, so Titan Terra, I was thinking that a big old bridge over here. I think that would be a cool thing to have. It'd be a massive bridge to get over a river. Oh, you know what? Hold on. You just gave me an idea. Come on, cursor. Where are you? There we go. Okay, so make the cursor a little bit smaller. I'm going to go to add land. And I'm going to put a strip of land in here. I think the river is going to have to be wider for this to work, but just bear with me here. We have bright idea. I want to widen the river. That made it too smooth. Widen it a little bit. Okay, and now I want to put a little island in here. And we're going to use that as the middle spar of the bridge. So a bridge could be built using this island to kind of hop. Yeah, like a leapfrog. Exactly, Titan Terra. You're getting it. So let's do like maybe like that. Nope. And now we're going to cut away some of it. Oh boy. We're going to smoothly cut away some of it. There we go. Okay. So I'm thinking kind of like that. How do we like that when we zoom out? It doesn't look as good as I was thinking. So hold on. We're going to... it's so weird that Control-Z... Oh, it is working. Okay. Control-Z's back. All right. We're going to walk this back a second. I'm gonna put it closer to this like 1,000 islands area because there's already so many islands there, right? So let's hop down here and instead we're going to add a few right down in here. And that's going to be our leapfrog area. And now we're going to grab a bridge. Why do you not like me typing? Bridge. I need 2 of them. Need to rotate it. Okay, so these ones aren't the type that fill in. Let me grab those. There's a type of bridge. There we go. That'll take the color of the ground beneath it. It's quite useful for this. We'll put it like right there. And then we're going to put another one like there. It's hard to see from height, but I think we can make it work. Let's get a paint color to make it match. Interesting. Why is this not... Traditionally, it would take on the color beneath it, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. Oh, is it a background color? No? No? Sung Moon, you're fine. You're fine. Welcome in. You're working a Christmas thing. That's interesting. I hope it went well. I don't know why. This might be a parchment map thing. Traditionally, when you place a bridge, I don't have bridges in any of the maps that I have pulled up, it takes on the color of the ground around it. But this one is taking on a different color. You see that? Over the river, it's like not dark green. I guess it's a really small thing to worry about. Yes, it's just like, it's this border right here. Tide Terror, we can't... I am painting on it right now, and it's just not taking the color. So my only other option, I think, is going to be to color shift the bridge itself, which I'm not sure. Tweak colors. Yeah, so I can do it, but it's going to change the black outline around it, which I'm not a fan of. So I don't think that's the solution either. I think the solution is Alex gets over his OCD about things. But that's the tough solution. That's the harder one to do, right? There we go. I'm thinking something like that. I think that's fine. It's hard to see from this level of zoom anyway. Oh, I did accidentally paint in the river here. That's not the right color. Uh-oh. I should have favorited this color. I need to paint my water the original color again. But it doesn't appear in my favorites. I swear I favorited this color after we had our last adventure trying to find it. This one? There it is. Okay. Parchment Ocean. Favorite. Favorite immediately. It has been favorited. We got it, guys. There we go. Okay. I think that's looking good for today. What do y'all think? You like the progress on it? Pretty sick to add in all those rivers and swamps and whatnot. I'm digging it. It's good progress. Where are we going next? Like next time, where are we gonna work? There's a lot to work on in here. You like the island, Lestro? Which one? The islands down in here? Islands, yeah, okay. That's what you mean. Gotcha. Good, thank you. I'm okay with them. I don't know if they're finished, but they're alright. They're good for now. So often what I found is when something doesn't feel quite right, I just leave it for a stream or two, and when I come back, if it still feels wrong, then I know it needs work. But if it feels okay, we alright then. We good. Well, folks, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being here as we continue to add to our wonderful massive map project. Like I floated earlier, I think I might want to work on a little map coming up too, kind of like a, let's see, like a battle map type dealio. Let's see if Incarnate's got one that I can pull up as an example. Yeah, look at that, perfect. Something kind of like this, where it's like, it's a building and then there's rooms and stuff in it. I think that could be a cool little side quest for a minute. So let me know if that sounds like something you'd want to do. Give us a little something to switch between from big world map to little world map. Super zoomed out to super zoomed in. But no, thanks for being here, Iconic. Everybody else, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great weekend coming up. Like I said, my family is in town next week. I think I'll still be streaming. I will let you know, though. And because, I stream so early in the morning, I can get a stream done before we go about our regular vacation activities. They're visiting for an early Christmas, so we'll imagine that. Guest stars, Meg. Yeah, that would certainly be interesting. But no, thank you for being here, folks. Sir Paint, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you to everybody over on Video App. Thank you to my regulars on TikTok. I appreciate you. And thank you to everybody who is new, came in for the first time today. It was truly a pleasure to have you here. So, folks, as always, thank you to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which have provided our background music today. And an extra special thanks to community member Raffi the Engineer for producing and composing our 5th song, Midnight at the Round Table. Everybody, a shout out to my excellent moderators, Melissa Lee 28, Raffi the Engineer again, One Happy Harpy, The Seth Ward, Other Name Wasn't Available, Leisha T, aka Slindy, and Aaron Winnick. And thank you as well to the chat, who really doesn't need much moderating. Y'all do a great job keeping the vibes up, and I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Friday. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope it passes swiftly if it's morning. If it's evening, go enjoy your Friday night. What are you doing here with me? And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Thank you again, and as always, be excellent to each other. I will catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.